to this episode of Diaspora Scholars TV. We are again in Fultondale, Birmingham, Alabama, and we are talking to Moffat Juma, who is the CEO and obviously the consultant at my EB2 consultancy, a firm that helps many immigrants who come here to transition from various immigration states. So right now, Moffat, again, welcome to this show.
Thank you.
We really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Last Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Last time, yeah. So I was in the beach. I was at the beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went there to meet some friends, and also had a client there that I had to meet one-on-one.
Oh, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Excellent. You guys are lucky you're close to the beach. Yeah. So anyway, so in this section, I want you to take us, step by step on the process of applying for EB2-NIW. So first of all, tell us what EB2-NIW is.
Yeah.
Who is eligible to apply for it?
Yeah.
And then step by step, take us through each of those steps, and then also tell us how do you are able to help in each of these steps so that our viewers can be able to get it exactly and straight from your mouth.
Yeah.
Because I've been going to many states and people say, are you able to get this guy? Let him tell us exactly what we can do. So you have a chance.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. So my EB2-NIW stands for Employment-Based Second Preference National Interest Waiver Visa. This is a type of visa or green card for people who have either a bachelor's degree plus 5 years of experience or a graduate degree, that is master's or a PhD. So if you have those threshold requirements, then now you can be able to apply for this given green card. So the first thing that you have to think about is, do you have a skill set that is of national interest that you can serve this country? National interest means, is it healthcare? Is it security? Is it AI? Those emerging areas that are of national interest. And it
doesn't have to be STEM. It can be. It can even be accounting.
It can be accounting. Can be engineering. Can be any given other field. Yeah. So then the next thing is, you look at your CV or your resume. What have you done apart from going to school, having that degree? Do you have like a scholarship? Did you get any form of a scholarship? Even if it's 20%, 100% scholarship, that counts because scholarships are merit-based. Shows that you are the top. There was a procedure, there was a criteria, criteria that was used to be able to give you that given scholarship. Awards, if you are awarded maybe for doing a good job as a teaching assistant or as a research assistant or any given award, if you had like a presentation, you presented your research in a given forum, publications, for people who have publications, what did you publish? Is it in line with the national interest of this country? And publication doesn't have to be a journal. It can even be a newspaper. It can even it doesn't. A book chapter. Even a poster presentation. Even a poster presentation. That's very correct. As long as it's something that they can search online and find that, okay, you did this, because most of the colleges in the US, you can retrieve that information online. It's available. Yeah.
And even if you've participated in even sports, right?
Yeah, even in sports, you can show that you have a track, that you have performed well in a given sporting event. That adds to your petition. And also, if you have had an opportunity to work, let's say like an OPT, or for OPT, that is an optional practical training.
Yes.
Or if you worked before doing your master's or your PhD, that still counts towards that given application.
So the minimum is bachelor's degree with 5 years experience.
Yeah.
So what about masters? Do you need to have worked?
No, it's called a proposed endeavor. You propose that I want to do this in future. Granted this given green card, I'll be able to do this, and then you prove using those given documents that I've mentioned. The other given critical component that you need to have is recommendations, and that is where most people struggle, because some of them, when they were in college, they didn't build those networks with their faculty, with maybe mentors and all that. So it's very essential for somebody who's in college and thinking of applying for any given form of employment-based green card to build those networks. Try to have, when you go to a given workshop or seminar, create some networks.
Build a network.
Build a network. It will.
Or you can even join the Kenya Scientists and Professionals Network, where we have many professionals who can help you, grow your network.
Yeah, that's very true. I've seen a couple of recommendations you have done for some of my clients, and those count a lot. You do that recommendation, you think it's something simple, but somebody else, it's helping him or her to be able to transition to this green card.
So you really recommend people to build a good network of people who can truly, speak to their profession, and particularly on how the future of that person will be able to contribute to the national interest.
Yeah. And the other thing is also membership or certifications, membership of professional associations. You know, when you're in college, they are very cheap to be able to become a member. You subscribe, and that membership proves that you belong to a given category because you have an interest in that particular specialization. So, if you don't have it, we are applying for that. You have to subscribe.
So professions like, you can join like, you are a chemist like the American Chemical Society.
Yeah. So you got to join that. And as I said, they help a lot because they look at, okay, you are a member of this and you have been subscribing. And this is how this given association was founded on what grounds, And if you are subscribing, then you agree with the ideals of that given association. Some given professions need certification for you to be able to practice, like let's say psychology and all that. So you got to have those certifications. So if you're a medical doctor, for you to be able to practice, you must be able to prove that you have been, certified by a particular state to be able to do that. So those also count a lot. Yeah.
Excellent. What about? Do you need to have a job?
No, it's a self-petition, and you don't need to have any job offer, even a job offer. It's just a proposed endeavor. You say, I've gone to school, I've done this, these are my skills, this is my training, and this is the experience I've acquired maybe over the period of time that you've been in school. And then you like to apply them given a chance in this given nation.
Okay, so you don't need to have a job. So essentially, if there's somebody taking a PhD, for example, they should be applying right now.
Yes. So that's
as soon as you start the PhD program, contact Moffat and begin applying for EB2-NIW because you have 5 years. And within that 5 years, by the time you graduate, most likely you have got already a green card.
So you don't have to wait until you graduate your PhD. Because the moment you realize that you have qualified, just go ahead and apply because the number of people who are being approved for this given EB2-NIW is very many. But there's a cap of the number of people get green cards through that category of the second preference NIW. So every other year when they give out those green cards, they stop. If they reach the target, they stop. They go the next year. So over the last couple of years, the timelines within which you get your green card from the first submission of your application, it's increasing. It's widening. People like the Indians, the Chinese, they're like 5 years, 10 years behind. So people are still waiting for that, given for the application to be cut.
China are over 10 years behind.
Over 10 years behind.
They have to wait for...
they have to wait. And people are still waiting. Kenya? Kenya is 1.5 years.
So if you apply, you are likely to wait for about
1.5 to 2 years. 1.5 to 2 years.
And that's why they should start early.
Yeah, they should start early. The moment you are eligible, just go ahead and make that application. And when you make the application on the first step, which is the petition itself, you are filling the form I-140. You send that given application. The charges for USCIS is $1,015.
Okay.
That is what you pay for normal processing. And that one, they take about maybe a year or 1.5 years to make a decision. And the decision can be either an approval or a request for evidence. So you can meet the requirements, then they give you an approval. If you don't meet the requirements, they'll ask for evidence. If you supply the evidence, then you can be able to be granted an approval. For people who don't
tell us a little bit about I-140.
Yes, now I-140 is the form that you fill to provide the information about your application. So I-140, that form is used for all employment-based green cards. So we have EB1 to EB5.
Okay.
So all those given categories, they fill the same form, but they have checkboxes for each of the specific given categories. Yeah.
So employment-based non-immigrant waiver, category is the one you specialize most. And the form is the same.
Yeah,
I-140.
Yeah, I-140 is the same form, yeah.
And the charges is about $1,015.
$1,015.
$1,015.
$1,015, yeah.
$1,015.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the form.
Yeah.
Here is $1,015.
Yeah.
What else do you need? Recommendation letters.
Recommendation letters.
Publications. Membership in organizations. A track record.
Yeah. Awards.
Proof of the future endeavor.
Yeah.
What else?
Also, you need the future plans. You have to give future plans for at least 10 years. What do you intend to do? If you are a master's degree holder, you can say you are a master's degree holder, but in the future you're planning to join a PhD program, and then also do more research in a particular field, or try to build your skills in that given particular field. If you are a PhD holder, you can say you want to join postdoc, and then you give that given a 10-year plan.
So where are you writing this? Is it in the NIW? Is it where are you writing that?
So all those given requirements, the documents I've mentioned, you use them to build what you call a petition cover letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a petition cover letter that you're writing.
Yeah, you build with that. Yeah.
Okay. And there's no number of pages you need.
We do from 50 pages to 500 pages. So it depends on how much somebody has done. You know? Yeah. If you have a CV of 15 pages, that's like 300, 400 pages, 500 pages.
Yeah.
If somebody has a CV of, let's say, 2 pages, maybe about 100 pages of a petition cover letter. Yeah.
Okay, so all this information, it has to be well crafted.
Yeah, it has to be well crafted.
You don't need a lawyer.
You don't need a lawyer, but some people opt to use attorneys for that. So attorneys do the same thing as what I do. Yeah, so it's
but it's something that is open
and
to the public.
Somebody
don't need a lawyer, basically.
Yeah.
You can read and write.
You don't need an attorney, you don't need me. You don't
even need Moffat.
Yeah, you can sit down and do it yourself. But if you don't have the time to do it, then I can do it for you at a fee.
Diaspora Scholars TV recommend that you reach out to my EB2 consultancy, because we've seen evidence of the work he's done. We've gone all over the US, I tell you. They are the ones who told me, go find Moffat. He's the one who helped us to transition to this status. So they can reach you.
Yeah.
They can go to the website.
Yeah, they can reach me through vc@myeb2.onmicrosoft.com.
Say it again.
vc@myeb2.onmicrosoft.com.
Right. If you didn't get it, you can always rewind this video.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you send those I-140.
Yeah. So that is the first step. So the first step is to do the given petition.
Yes.
Then if the petition is approved, then there is the waiting time for the case to be current. Because right now they are
so let's do it again. So I-140 is you send it.
Yeah.
Then it takes how long?
If you do normal processing, it will take between 1 year to 1.5 years to get a decision. If you do premium processing, which they charge 3,820, they'll give a decision within 45 days.
Wow.
That's about 2 months.
Premium processing, you add about 3,820. 820.
Yeah.
So plus the 1,015.
No, it's 1,015 plus 2,805.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to make it 3,820.
Okay, so that is the one when it's premium processing.
Premium processing. That's good for people like if you are on your last days of your OPT, if you are last days of your visa, you don't know, what next. You want to know the decision, or you have the money. You don't want to have that anxiety of waiting. You never know, because the first step, there is no any given communication from USCIS. The only communication is you have received your petition.
Yeah.
Then the next will be either an approval or an RFE, request for evidence. Yeah.
And typically from your experience, what kind of evidence do they request? Extra evidence?
Extra evidence is the petition has 3 prongs. The first one is the endeavor has to be of substantial merit. Something of importance to the US. Substantial merits, national importance, and a global implication. Then the second prong is the given petitioner is well prepared to execute the endeavor. And then the last one is about the national interest. Why should they give you a green card instead of getting somebody within the country to be able to do that. You know, you have to prove that there's need for you to be given the green card to serve this country, because maybe there's no people of your skill set and all that. Yeah, so those three, they have to be met for you to be able to